All right, we are officially live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Comic Book Wednesday, which means another edition of Must Have Comics. Now, I don't do this every week, but anytime I have something on my pull list that arrives, I will go to the comic book store. I will see especially what number ones are out there, and I will come back as soon as I can to show you guys what I picked and see if there's something that maybe you might not have known about that might interest you in collecting. So let me first put on the video camera, otherwise you have no idea what I'll be showing. And then I'm also going to do another small mini edition of the Choose program that I do, where I'm going to have 4 different packages at the end after I show the comics for today, and you guys can pick which one that you want to pick. There'll be a dud, there'll be a key issue comic, and the 2 others are not bad. So we'll leave it at that. But we'll do it at the end, and I always do a surprise subscriber shout-out. So make your presence known in the live chat, and if you catch my attention, you will most likely get that shout-out, even if you've gotten one before. So there is not like a one-rule limit. All right, so with that being said, let me show the books. Now, obviously, I didn't get everything. There's going to be some that you may have thought I would get that I don't have. I'll give you my reasons why. But if you don't see something, or you just think there's something that is very important for people to know about, put it in the chat and then put it in the comment section when this video uploads. So I see a bunch of people here. Robert, you were first. Hello. Kevin, R. Herman, Crazy Clown, good to see you again. Comic Lover Omega, Ariel. Let's see. Richard McDowell. I think this is one of the first times. And he says, yeah, this is my first time seeing you live. Welcome, Richard. Dan Wolf. All right. So we got a bunch of people now. So I'm going to start out with the first book I got today. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 5. I get 2 copies of it. I'll tell you, I don't like to get too many of the newer books these days, but the Amazing Spider-Man has been pretty decent. I actually did not even want to start this run, but for some reason my comic store kept putting them in my pull box, and they always take care of me, and considering they're the only comic book store within 30 miles around me, I ended up buying them, and I started reading it. It's actually not bad. So I wanted to stick with it. So far, so good. Still $3.99 price tag. So as long as it stays that way, they have a purchaser. All right, this is a book I've seen a couple of people recommend. Absolutely love this cover. I think a lot of people are going to be picking this up today. And this is, I think it's Catwoman issue number 3. This is the variant. I'm not sure of the artist. I think that might be Art Germ, but correct me if I'm wrong. But whoever did this artwork, it's a beautiful. I love like really good art, especially if it's like almost photorealistic. So I don't know if there's anything key in this issue, but this is definitely a book that many people are probably going to show today. So if you can get it, pick it up. Again, the $3.99 price tag. DC is pretty good at that. All right, this is another one where I just started getting this. As of now, I have it on my pull list. I get 2 copies. Whether it stays good or, you know, becomes better, who knows? But I am giving it a chance. Ah, Robert, that's nice of you. I always want to mention this because I'm one of those people that appreciates these kind of things. If anybody ever does those super chats and everything, I mean, first of all, it catches my attention because of the bright colors and everything. But I always want to make sure I will read whatever you write. So he puts, for you, buddy. Thank you for that, Robert. That's really nice of you. So if anybody does those super chat things, I will make sure it always gets read. And I'm not one of those people that waits until the end and then just reads them like, you know, almost like you feel like you're obligated. As soon as I see it, I will talk about it. So normally, I appreciate that, man. Normally, I just get the variant. But I believe this is the character Erraticus. And there are not many covers that have that character on the cover. I mean, it's okay artwork. But there's also something I heard about this, that they might be changing the powers a little bit. I won't give anything away about that. You could research that if you want to. And I figured it's worth a chance. But this one, I definitely would recommend. I love this cover. This is, they have two different variants, and, you know, I'm just not going to go crazy with all the variants. So I got two of this one. But this shows with the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So this is still Fantastic Four issue number 2. But this is one of the variants. I just think this one, artwork-wise, it's kind of cartoony, but it's very colorful, very bright, and it's definitely going to get people's attention. So if you can grab a hold of this one, I would recommend it. And let me just make sure the price tag. Yeah, this is also $3.99, so they didn't raise it for the variant. I'm very happy about that. All right, so let's get into some of the number ones. This is from Alterna Comics. I don't know if I've ever heard of them before, but this is Blood Realm issue number 1. And you could see it's got like a demon kind of look to it. As you could see, there's like little mini demon characters in the background. So I'm not familiar with it, but definitely looks like a interesting book to take a look at. It starts out with a Dark Covenant Part 1. It's 1 in a 3 issue limited series. So obviously that would be an easy read, and you know, if it becomes something popular, you know they'll end up making it into a regular series, so it might be worth taking a chance on. But here's the thing why I would definitely recommend it. $1.50 price tag. So, the last time I saw a $1.50 price tag, it was 1991. So, that should tell you everything that you need to know. So, for $1.50, take a chance on it. All right, this is another one. It's one of those less is more because it's definitely intriguing. This is from Aftershock Comics. This is Moth and Whisper, issue number 1. And yeah, Richard, it does look like an old Marvel kind of cover on that other book. But this one, it's pretty much almost all black, so you can't really tell who the characters are. But obviously you focus on this character, and you can see he or she is shooting laser beams. So obviously this is the person that has some kind of power. But it definitely seems intriguing. Now, of course, one of the things I will give praise on with Aftershock is they have very high-quality paper, especially on the cover. So this is not that Marvel wrinkly kind of stuff and DC wrinkly kind of cheap paper they use. So, especially if you're one of those people that likes to grade books, you know, books like this get a higher chance of getting a higher grade. So that one might be something that might be a sleeper. All right, so I am horrible at Roman numerals, and I was going to look this up first, but I forgot. So if you guys know Roman numerals, you can let me know. Obviously, you can look it up. But this is MCM LXXV, issue number 1, which obviously is a year, I would assume. This is by Image Comics. You can kind of see that this person must have some kind of superpowers because it looks like, you know, they have an object that they are kind of looking like they are charging up. So obviously this is going to be a superhero comic. What it's about remains to be seen. But again, for $3.99, worth taking the chance on to see where it goes. And let's see who's the first person to look up what that Roman numeral is. All right, so 3 more books. And then we'll do one of the... Because a couple of people said, you know, I do a lot of them late at night. And most people cannot stay up that late. So I'm going to do one quick round of the choosing to see if you guys can actually get the key issue. I've been getting you guys pretty good lately. All right, so this is a limited series, I believe. It's in Fear of the Worlds Part 2. So actually, I don't know if this is a limited series, actually. It could be just when they have a certain part in the group. But this is from American Mythology Productions. I've never heard of them before. But there's a variant cover, but this is the one everybody's going to get. And again, this might be a little sleeper. This is called Moon Maid, issue number 1. And again, you can see this is like one of those painted kind of covers. The variant was kind of plain. I didn't really like it. So with me, I tend to want to get the variant, especially if it's the same price. But if it's like the regular cover is 10 times more beautiful than the other, I'm not going to waste my money on the variant. So I think if anybody's going to get any of this book, they are definitely going to pick this one over the variant. So who knows where this will go? It's a $3.99 price tag. A lot of times, you know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but with comics, a lot of people base it on the cover. So who knows? It might be worth taking the chance on. All right, so 2 more, and then we will go to the boxes that you'll pick, and then I'll also do the surprise subscriber shout-out. This is based on a TV show that when I was a kid growing up, absolutely loved this show. So if you're my age or around that time, you'll love it. Now, I am the original person, Joel, and you'll understand when you see it. Now, this is by Dark Horse. This is Mystery Science Theater 3000. Let me see if this is the variant. Yeah, this is the variant cover. I like this one better than the regular cover. But they've had a couple of, you know, times where they redid this show. If you've never seen this show, you gotta watch it. The original with Joel as the person, as the main focus of the characters. The others, I mean, especially the later ones, they're just way too cheesy. But Joel was always my favorite. But if you've never seen this TV show, you gotta watch it. Absolutely hysterical. Basically, it's a character named Joel who gets shot out into space. He creates these 2 robots, and their punishment, because they used all their parts, they can't get home, so they're forced to watch, like, old B-rated cheesy movies. And they basically sit there and make fun of it the whole time. It's actually really funny. So it's actually, and they even say here it's streaming on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, you'll be able to see it. But yeah, go with the original series first, because if you watch the later ones, you're gonna like think, what the hell was I thinking? But this is $3.99. This is a #1 issue from Dark Horse. I find it interesting because the fame of that show is the sarcasm and the ridicule they make towards the actual movies that they watch. So I don't know how that will really transfer over to comic book form, but I guess we'll find out. But that one is definitely an interesting book. I mean, will you retire off that one? Probably not, but it could be a good read, especially if you are a MST 3000 fan. All right, so this is the last one we're going to do. This one just, it brings back, I don't know if I should be nostalgic or just want to vomit, but I think people are going to gravitate towards this. So I think this is my sleeper pick. This is called Cemetery Beach, and you'll understand when you see this comic. This screams Todd McFarlane 90s comic like I have not seen since the 90s. I mean, even with the cheesy little box here, I mean, it looks like Todd McFarlane's work. It's kind of got that whole Amazing Spider-Man kind of homage, if you want to call it. You know, homage I always find is a cheesy word for stealing somebody else's idea. To me, it's kind of lazy. I mean, once is kind of fun, but when they do it 600 times, then they're just trying to cash it in. But I don't know. There's just something about this that I think it's going to draw people's attention to. Now you have to find out if it's a good book or not. So that's the key. But I think that could be a sleeper. But, I mean, look at this. I mean, does that not scream Todd McFarlane 90s Image Comics, or right before he left Marvel with the Spider-Man? So I think nostalgia-wise, this is going to get people's attention. The artwork is kind of cool. I mean, it does kind of have the homage to Amazing Spider-Man. Who knows if this character will become anything. But for $3.99, it's worth the price. Now, one of the books you will not see, which a couple of people will, is The Life of Captain Marvel, issue #1. It has a beautiful cover, but this is why I will not do it. Marvel is now charging $4.99 every time there's a #1 issue. And to me, that's a test run for preparing everybody for their comics to become $4.99. Because if you ever see, for example, Marvel is very famous for this, and I love Marvel. But, you know, you got to call out things, even things you love, if you want to be honest. Remember the days when you saw like a Bronze Age book where they'd say, oh, Marvel's whatever issue, still 20 cents. That's their way of saying the next month is going to be 25 cents. Because you ever look at those prices where they say, oh, still 15 cents or still 20 cents or whatever, the next month's issue ends up being higher. So with them charging $4.99 for the number ones, first of all, they know most people are going to buy the number ones, and then a lot of people jump ship after that. So they're going to try and extract the most money they can. But I think, in my opinion, that is a test run. And I'm going to say this right now. The day that Marvel becomes a $4.99 price for every comic, I will no longer be collecting new comics, and I'll just focus completely on older comics and maybe still look for like Image and DC. Because $4.99, $5 for a book is absolutely ridiculous. You know, you're talking $50 to $100 just to get a little mini stack of new books. You know, you do what you want. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing my opinion. But to me, I'm not ready to spend $5 for a brand new book where 90% of the books, especially if you're an investor or a speculator, aren't going to go anywhere. So, I mean, you're talking needle in a haystack for those prices, especially with all the variants, which means, you know, when they have special events, then get ready for $5.99, $6.99, up to $9.99. The best way to send a message is not giving the money. Like, I'll give you a prime example, and then we'll get into the choosing. The whole Nike situation that's going on. Whether you agree with it or not, I'm not going to talk about that. But I've seen many people that were against the situation that Nike did by hiring a certain football player, by burning Nike products. Now, Nike already has your money. They don't care what you do with their products after you've already purchased them. So if you spend your money on something and then make a video to set it on fire, that may make you feel good, but the business is all about making money. So they don't care what you do. As far as they're concerned, you can hold on to a comic book for 100 years, you could read it and throw it out, or you could have a video where you rip them up and set them on fire. If they already have your money, they don't care. So keep that in mind. If you want real change, sometimes you have to sacrifice. Like I said, I love Marvel. If you watch my videos, Marvel is probably 90% of my collection. But if they're going to charge that much money for a basic comic book, I'm not willing to do it. And as you've seen, I will actually go on eBay and actually purchase, even at a higher price, from somebody on eBay. Because then, let's say, for example, this was $5.99. Let's say this is a Marvel comic, and they had a number one, and since the regular books became $4.99, this will become $5.99. So let's just even it out what it is. It's $6. If I bought this book at the store, that is one more that Marvel has in their system. But if somebody else bought this, and I bought it from them, even though there's 2 transactions, there's only 1 book. So Marvel, even though this book has been sold twice, Marvel only gets 1 cut because they don't get any of the eBay sale or Amazon sale, or maybe you do a trade with somebody. But if somebody else already bought this book that I would have bought it from, and I decide to buy it myself, now that's 2 copies that have given the money to Marvel. So there are other ways to do it. So you have to make a stand based on principle. It's not about the money, because you've seen many times that I'll actually spend more money on eBay because it's not giving the money to Marvel. I would rather give it to a comic fan who's trying to maybe earn a living by feeding their family than to give it to Marvel and say, I approve of this. So again, that's just my stand. It does not have to be yours. So with that being said, I have 4 books where you guys get to pick one. One of them is a dud. One of them is a key issue. The other 2 are not bad. So you guys are going to choose it. And I'll tell you this. For those of you who have especially stayed up late to do these, I'm in your head. I'm actually pretty good at steering you guys in the wrong direction. So you're going to have to see if I can actually trick you guys into picking what could be the dud. So let's start out with box number 1. Box number 1, I'll show you right now. There's a little tape that's up here, which means this could have been opened, or this was just bad packaging on the part of the seller of this quote-unquote comic. Now, there could be graded books, there could be original art, so it's not necessarily always comics. If you watch these videos, I have one where there was actually a Spawn toy. So as long as they are comic related. So that's box number 1. Box number 2 is the one most people consider, and what I say is the safe choice. Because as you can see, this is just your typical envelope. I won't show the other side, but it was nice of them to say, please do not bend. So there is some cardboard in here, so it actually seems very thick. So as you can see, there is no damage, except for this little corner, but I'm okay with that. So that is box number 2. All right, box number 3. If you've watched my videos, you may or may not have seen this one before. As you can see, this is a little bit longer book, or a longer box. It does say fragile, handle with care. And it looks like to be in very good condition as far as the packaging. A lot of tape here. So I wonder if that's been retaped, or we had a seller that actually wanted to do the right thing. All right, so package number 4. This one might frighten you guys. Because as you can see, this box is way too small for a comic book. So I can safely say, and I'm sure you will assume, that whatever is in this small box is not a comic book. But is it something that could be considered a comic-related key? So I will leave that up to you. So we have box number 1, box number 2, box number 3, or mini box number 4. So when you guys are ready, vote once, and let's see what you guys pick. So when you're ready, put it in the live chat of which number that you think is the safe choice to find that key. Really quick, Crypto Club says, PGX, I've been waiting for close to a month to get my comics back from grading. What's up with them? Because of the fact that they've added, because mine are delayed as well, because of the fact that, you know, the comic book season, you know, all the Comic-Cons and everything just happened, and they've been adding the graders notes. They had to change the back of their labels. It put everything in a little bit of a delay. So there are more people that are sending in their comics, so that's why there's a little bit of a delay. But if you message them, they'll get back to you. All right, so as usual, you guys are sticking with the safe choice, and people are scared of box number 4. I find that interesting. All right, so all the votes are starting to come in. Not one vote for 4. Keep in mind, I tend to trick you guys a lot. So be careful about this. So far, 1 and 2 are pretty much tie. So let's see. We'll take a couple more votes. Right now, 1 and 2 are tie. 3 is close second. And 4 has 0. So you guys are not trusting me on that one. Interesting. All right, so we'll take 3 more votes. So if you've already voted, you can't vote again. Anybody else that wants to vote? Because right now 1 and 2 are tied. So 3 more votes will be... Crazy Clown says, we're scared because of the size and shape of a harmonica. I will tell you this. I can guarantee in that box there is not a harmonica. So there's definitely not a harmonica in there. I don't even own one. But anyway, that's for Reggie. I don't want to steal his thunder. Rick is the only brave person to vote number 4. Crypto Club thinks number 4 is a pin. Well, we may never find out. All right, so last chance. So we got 1 more vote that can come in. All right, so we have 2. All right, so 3. And because there were 2 votes for 3, 3 took the lead by 1 vote. All right, so you guys are too easy. The little box I knew you would stay away from. That's why I made it last. That was the key item. I won't tell you what it is because you did not pick it. I'm telling you, it's too easy with you guys. So, let's see what you did pick. Did you end up with the dud? Or something that's decent? I guess that remains for you to be seen. And don't forget, wait until the end because I will be doing the surprise subscriber shout-out. So make sure your presence is known. The more often you interact with each other in the live chat, the more likely I will spot it. So I was able to trick you guys once again because the key item, it doesn't always have to be key issue, was in box number 4. It got a whole 2 votes. I'm in your heads, and I love that. But you did not pick horribly, I will say that. But I'm very good at getting you guys to stay away from the key issues. Alright, so this is weird. They put all these little Tootsie Roll things in there. And they taped the living daylights out of this. Oh, and while I'm doing this, so I'm not totally wasting your time, if you have not seen the video I did late last night, eBay is currently having a special where you can get 8% eBay bucks on any purchases, no minimum. So that is definitely something to think about. It's good until the tomorrow night, the 14th, at 2:59 a.m. Eastern Time. So you still have time, and it could be on anything. There is no minimum purchase. Also, in case you haven't seen the video, and most people don't really look at my videos unless they're spec ones, I find that interesting, but the cashback program now is back for comic books on eBay, and it's 2% cashback. It used to be 1%. So if you have not signed up for it, it is in the description. Jeez, they taped the living daylights out of this. You guys know how much I love that. So the link is in the description. If you spend $25 or more the first time you purchase, the first time you sign up, you get $10 additional cash back. So put it this way, if you've never signed up for the program before, if you buy something on eBay today, you get 8% cash back, 8% eBay bucks. You'll get the 2% cash back and the $10 bonus. So that will be a great day for you to save money. Alright, so I'm not even going to bother to take this off because this person taped the living daylights out of this. That's where comics can get damaged, so I tell people all the time, be very careful about that. Alright, so you did choose a graded book. And I'm not going to buy a dud that's graded, I'll tell you that. So what did you guys pick? This is Spider-Verse issue number 1. I believe this is the 1 in 25 Rodriguez variant, but it is a variant edition. Graded at a 9.8 with white pages. And the best part is, yeah, it's a 1 in 25 variant. I did write it down. I paid, with shipping and handling, $47.90. So under $50 for a 9.8, especially nowadays with, you know, Spider-Gwen, or Ghost Spider as they're about to call her, going to be in the cartoonish kind of / computer version of the Spider-Man movie. She's going to become more and more popular, so books like this are really going to start to be on the rise. So for $47, including shipping and handling, because a lot of times the shipping and handling for these kind of books is $10 to $15. So especially if I went to go get this graded, I mean, you're talking about $25 to $30. And that's not considering if I spent the extra money to have it sped up, which means instead of 3 months, it'll only be a month and a half. So that is it. So let me first pick today's surprise subscriber shout-out. Hopefully you'll have time to go pick out some good books today. Don't forget to leave in the comments section any books that you think are worthy that I might not have shown. And today I am going to pick, just because I love the name, Lucky Phil. So Lucky Phil, you are the lucky surprise subscriber shout-out. I don't know if I'd consider it actually really lucky, but congratulations on that. We had a lot of people in here today, so hopefully you enjoyed this. Thumbs up always shows support, so if you can do that, I appreciate it. If you share the videos, that helps my channel grow. Hit subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it's We Love Comics, and never forget, I am in your head. I have been able to dissuade you many times now, so you guys got to get your game going. I'll see you next video, everybody. Happy comic collecting.